He wants your phone number. I told him I was gonna tell you.
Like, you my girl and shit like that. You working like you're supposed to give me an outfit.
Everybody has their opinions, but it don't really matter though. You see, I'm the artist who's standing in front of the canvas. You see the paint splatter on.
What's good? Candy Cane Gang. Gang, gang, gang. It's your girl Kane. What's good, y'all? What's poppin'? What's cracking? How you doing? How you been? It's another story time. Side note. I'm having some allergies with my eyes. No, I am not crying, and no, I am not high. This story time takes place in the state of New York, Brooklyn, Brownsville. None of the names used in the story time belong to any of these people. Their names are being changed to protect their privacy. Their names are being changed to protect the privacy of the trifling and not the innocent. This was a year after I broke up with Mo. Yeah, I remember Mo, the Mo series. This guy literally had the same name as Mo. But for this story time, we're just going to call him Cody. I met Cody a year after I broke up with Mo. This was at the very end of, high school, y'all. And I told y'all I didn't graduate high school on time. I had to do a couple of extra months, being that I didn't pass the math regents. That was the worst motherfucking test that they can ever come out with. I was passing all the other regions except for this math regents. So I ended up having to do an extra 6 months plus night school to get my high school diploma. So this is literally around the time before I met Richard the Condom Bandit. I had met this guy, Cody. Cody used to live in Brownsville. I don't know if he still does. He probably does. So at the current time, Cody was older than me. 21 or 22. He was older than me. This is a situation of a mother's know best, okay? And this is just a story time just to show y'all, just to tell y'all how I did not motherfucking listen to anything that Mama King had always said to me. Cody had worked at a restaurant in Brownsville on Pekin Avenue. I don't know if the restaurant is still there, but for his whack ass privacy, I'm not even going to say the name of the restaurant because maybe somebody will figure it out. Not that I care. But he was working at this restaurant on Pekin, a very well known restaurant, and he was a cashier and a cook, whichever days, I guess however his schedule went. So I used to see Cody all the time, walking up and down Pekin or walking on Belmont. Just up and down Brownsville, I would always see Cody, and even on the train. But every time I seen him, he would, try to pursue me. He would stare at me like, or he would just be like,
"How you doing, Ma? What's going on?"
And I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" And I would keep it moving. I was always a female in Brownsville. I was just always on the go. Okay, if anybody knows me from the Ville and you ever seen me, you've never really see me mingling. You just see me on the go, okay? Either I'm going to work, or I'm going to school, or I'm going home, okay? Or I'm going to another hood to do some bullshit. So one day, me and my mother and my siblings, we always ate at this restaurant because it's my mother's favorite restaurant. So we went to this restaurant so we can get some lunch, okay? So this particular day, we're there, we're ordering, our food or whatever, and this guy is like looking at me really hard, and Mama Kane is noticing it. So Mama Kane is looking at him like something had went wrong where Cody had messed up the order. Okay, he got the food completely wrong. Everybody's food was wrong. So we actually sat down in this restaurant to eat. We go to sit down, and that's when everybody's realizing that their food is all jacked up. So my brother is like,
"My food is not right. I'm about to go back up to to the counter and let homie know. Like, I don't either fix my food or I want my money back."
So my mother goes up there, and I told you my mother was a no-limit soldier. At that point, my mother she had this attitude like, get it right or give my motherfucking bread back. So she's barking on Cody. She's barking on Cody. She's barking on the other boy that's standing up there. So they just like, don't worry, man. We're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. So they fixing the order and getting everything right. My mother is noticing that Cody is just distracted with looking at me. So my mother is like,
You can get the motherfucking food right if you stop staring at my daughter's face.
"That's your daughter?"
Yeah.
"Oh, I thought y'all were sisters."
So my mother's just looking at him like, my mother was really ODing inside this restaurant, okay? So it was one day, I'm just walking down Pekin, and I'm looking for, some sneakers to buy. I'm just trying to decide if I want Air Force or if I want Air Max. I happened to go into McDonald's, and that's the one that I worked at. Before I go to the sneaker store, I'm like, let me just go into the McDonald's real quick and get me, something to eat, burger, nuggets, whatever. So as I'm coming out of this McDonald's, just try to imagine, okay? So you're coming out of this McDonald's this is when they had the red awning over the store, okay? So you're coming out, and there's windows on the left hand side, and you can see that block on the left hand side. So as I'm coming through the lobby doors, and like we kind of run into each other, okay? So Cody is like,
oh, wow.
So I'm like, my bad. I'm looking down like to see if the high C juice had spilled on his sneakers or anything, which it didn't.
What are the odds of me running into you? That's crazy. What's your name?
My name is Kane. I told him my real name. He told me his name, y'all, and that's when I'm just like, I literally just left a relationship a year ago with somebody with the same, like they had the same exact name, y'all. It's crazy. So I'm like, oh, they told me his name was Cody. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, nice meeting you.
Yeah, you the same girl that be coming to the restaurant with your family and shit, right?
Yeah, that's me.
So you remember me?
I'm like, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'll be seeing you around.
And I'm like, all right. I go to the sneaker store, I get me my sneakers, and I walk home eating my food. Let's go ahead and fast forward and get to the tea. It's one day, y'all. And y'all already know, every time it's one day, it's some bullshit. I'm on Pickin with my twin sisters. I have two sisters, they're twins. So we on Pickin, we chilling, like we just walking up and down Pickin, like we looking for outfits. We shopping, okay? So my sister was like, she wants to go to this restaurant so she can get her something at the restaurant. Alright, I don't really want nothing from there. I think I want Golden Crust, but I'll go ahead and start with you because the Golden Crust and this other restaurant was in the same area. So we go to that restaurant first. So we're in there, and my sisters is ordering their food. So I'm just like, I might as well just go ahead and get me a drink right here because they had good drinks too. So I go and I order me a drink. There's a chick taking my order. One of my sisters take her order, and then the other register opens. It's Cody. So Cody is like,
can I take your order?
This is what he's saying to my other sister. So my sister goes up to the register and she's ordering her food. So after she gets her food, I had got my drink and I walked off. So I'm standing on the counter, I'm looking at my phone, and I'm waiting. My sister, let's just give my sister a name. Let's just call her T. She comes over and she's like,
That guy over there, the one in the middle,
I'm like, yeah.
he wants your phone number. I told him I was going to tell you.
He wants my phone number. For what?
I don't know. He said to tell you. He asked me if we was friends. I told him we were sisters. So he told me to tell you that he wants your phone number.
So I walks over there. He's like,
oh, I told you to bring me the number back. You brought her.
So I'm like, what do you want?
All right, meanie. I just want your phone number, like, so, see if I could call you and talk to you.
Talk about what?
This and that, here and there, whatever comes up.
We exchanged phone numbers. And my other sister got her food, and we left this restaurant. When we get to the house, Cody texts my phone. He's like, can you talk now? I'm on break. I just wrote, okay. I was kind of nervous. Because I told y'all, I was not bold like that where, like, I would walk up to a guy and be like, yeah, what's up? What's up, Wigga? What's up with you? Like, what you got going on? You got a girl, you got a wife, you got a baby mother. What you do for a living, huh? You interested in me? What's up? I wasn't bold like that. Still not, but yeah. He calls my phone, so I'm like, hello?
Like, yeah, what's up, Mom? What's going on? It's me, Cody.
I'm like, duh. I know.
Like, yeah, so, what you got going on? Like, what you doing?
I'm at the house with my family, like, we just chilling.
Like, the house, where's the house at? Like, where you stay at? I know it's in the Ville, because I always see you.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll stay over here in the Jacks. So he's like,
oh, I know where that's at, okay. So you live on the hard side or the soft side?
the hard side.
Like, oh, well, I don't think I'll be coming to see you.
Okay. Where do you live at? Because I be seeing you walking around in the hood at like too.
Like, I stay over here, stay up the block from the restaurant.
So I'm like, oh, that little side block that I seen you walking.
Like, yeah. That's where I'm from. That's my spot.
Like, oh, okay. We just kept talking on the phone. He's just asking me different questions. How old am I? Do I have a boyfriend? What school do I go to? What's my favorite color? What's my favorite foods? He's just asking all this regular stuff. And I'm just asking him the same stuff. We just getting to know each other the whole time. So we was on the phone maybe for like 2 or 3 hours. Let's go ahead and fast forward. Probably like a Saturday. It's like a weekend, a Saturday. And Cody sends a text to my phone and was like, let's link up. So I'm like, link up and do what? You know, he's just like, are you busy? And I'm like, no. From my knowledge, no. The best thing to do was for me to get up and get out of the house now before my mother gets up and my mother starts with the Saturday cleaning, okay? So he's like, all right, well, come to my job. You know, I'm off, but I'm over here. I'm just grabbing some things from my job. So I get up, y'all. I shower, do my hair, get dressed. I tell Mama Kane I'll be back. So my mother's like,
Where you going?
I'm just like, I'm going to Pickin. About to go to Pickin and look for something real quick.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll see you when you get back.
I didn't mention I was going to see Cody, y'all, because, you know, I told you how my mother was acting towards Cody at the restaurant and how she was looking at him. So I leaves out of the house. I'm power walking to this restaurant. So I get there to the restaurant. So I goes inside the restaurant and he's leaning on the counter up at the front. There's like other cashiers, they're standing there. They just all up there. So the light-skinned dude that worked there, he had this afro, okay? And then he had like 2 hair nets put together some type of way on the afro. So he happens to look up and see me. And he's like,
yo, you got company.
So Cody turns around, looks up, he's like,
oh, come here.
So I walks down there, whatever, and he's like,
yeah, this is my future girl right here. This King, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so the last thing to do is like,
yeah, we see him all the time. So y'all dating now?
So Cody was like,
something like that.
Like, I don't remember us. Okay, but we ends up leaving out of this restaurant, y'all, and Cody wants to go to the handball court because there's a bunch of wiggers over there. So I come with him to this park, and this park was literally adjacent to his building where he stayed at on that block. So it's just a bunch of wiggers there, wiggettes, like it's just mad people in the park, all right? They playing handball, they got music playing on the radio, and then they got music playing from a car. And then there's people sitting on like, fold out chairs, they're drinking, they just having a ball on this block. So Cody's like,
yeah, it's my black race, all my people, you know, it's all my family, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just vibing.
I started to notice some of the people that was sitting there, they had on like, Muslim attire. Now it wasn't, they had hijabs on, but their face was not covered, if y'all get where I'm going with this. So it was like 3 women sitting in the fold-out chairs. They wasn't drinking, they wasn't smoking, but they were sitting with the people that was drinking and smoking. They had the hijabs on their heads, but their face wasn't covered. And then they had, the dress. Somebody write in the comments what this is called, because I'm really not familiar with, the style of clothes and things like that. But this is what they had on. So I'm just looking, I'm just like, and they looking at me, they like, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
This my girl King, you know what I'm saying? Like, I brought her over here so she can meet y'all.
Like, he's just calling me his girl. But I'm not one of those people where if a guy says I'm his girl, I'm going to take it to the head and be like, yeah, I'm his girl. In my head, I'm just like, when the fuck did we say we was in a relationship? When did we solidify this? This was never solidified. Like, we literally just been talking for a couple of days and just, vibing. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Cody goes and he starts playing handball with some of the wiggers. So I told y'all, handball was my thing. I'm really nice with the handball. So I'm just like, yeah, can I play? So Cody's like,
you know how to play handball?
I'm like, yeah. So I go and I start whooping ass in the handball in the court, you know what I'm saying? And after maybe like an hour and a half of us playing the handball, Cody is like,
I'm going to the house because I gotta go to the bathroom.
I'm like, all right, cool. So he walks over to his building across the street, back across the street to the building. It's more Muslim women, and then it's all just other women, okay, with shorts, and they just outside. So we go into the apartment, and as soon as you walk in, y'all, it was something on the wall that said Allah something. So, and then there was something up under it, and it had like a symbol. So I'm just looking at it, and I stopped midway, like I stopped in the doorway, and I looked at it, and he's like,
What's wrong?
I'm like, oh, nothing. I was just looking at that thing. I'm thinking, so.
Like, yeah, that's my religion. I'm a Muslim.
Okay. I didn't know that. He's like,
Like, yeah, that's not a problem, is it?
I'm like, no. I'm like, so you don't eat pork and stuff like that? He's
Like, no, I don't eat pork.
so you don't eat anything out of that restaurant that you work in?
Like, I mean, like, I drink the drinks and all that, you know, but I don't really fuck with the food.
I'm like, oh, okay. Cody goes to the back and he uses the bathroom. I'm still standing in the living room. Now, in this living room, it wasn't really no furniture in this apartment, y'all. I don't know. It was a little small futon. That was it. It was like a little small futon and a lamp, like a stand-up tall lamp. That was all that was in the living room. And then there was another bedroom. There was another bedroom on the other side that led to the living room. So Cody comes from the back and he's like,
Why you just standing there?
I'm just like, oh, you said you was going to the bathroom. So he's like,
So you want to sit out here, you want to come to my room?
so I'm like, it doesn't matter to me, because ain't nothing going on anyway. So we go to the back. He wanted to go to the back, obviously. We go to the back, y'all, to his room. His room, there was like 2 twin-size beds. It was like the beds, the rolling beds, okay? The bed had wheels on it. And then up under, you can pull another bed out. I think you call it, I think they call this maybe a trundle bed, okay? Something like that. I don't know, y'all. And it was 2 beds in there like that, and both beds had this same feature. You could pull another bed from up under it. He sits down on the bed and he's like,
Yeah, this is my side of the room. That side of there is my sister.
like, so you share a room with your sister?
Yeah, why you saying it like that?
I'm like, nah, I'm just asking. Of course, y'all already know where this story is going. Cody was trying to get some cooch, and it wasn't working.
So you a virgin or something? Like, what's up?
I don't get it. So I'm like, no, I'm not a virgin. I'm just not doing it with you. Not right now. I'm doing it when I'm ready. Because that whole situation with Mo, y'all, that still was going through my mind.
Alright, well, there's no pressure. I ain't pressuring you. You know, I respect that. I actually like that you're not trying to give it away right then and there so quick. That actually kind of makes me want to wish you even longer.
So I'm just like, all right, whatever. So let's go ahead and fast forward. So I'm into month 2 now, y'all. And this girl, I'm trying to get myself out of night school. Like, I'm trying to get my motherfucking diploma, okay? Like, it's just, it's crazy. So I was going to Midwood. I was going to Midwood night school, y'all. And I had noticed there was a lot of people at this night school that had went to my high school. So I knew them. So we would be hanging out. We'd stay together. We would study together and things like that, for night school. So it's just one day, y'all, I took the train with this girl. Let's just call this girl Tanisha. I took the train with Tanisha. So Tanisha is like,
yeah, I'm going to see my boyfriend. He lives in Brownsville, like, I don't know what's going on. I've been calling his phone all day today. He ain't answer the phone. Like, that's not like him.
So I'm just like, yeah, well, hopefully he's all right. Did you try calling him? Yeah, he's still no answer. So we ends up getting off at the same stop and everything. And when we got to a certain block, we separates. Tanisha goes this way, and I go this way. Y'all keep that in your brains, okay? So when I get home, y'all, I send Cody a text, and Cody responds instantly. He's like, yo. So I'm like, just was saying what's up or whatever. I made it home from school. He's like, oh, that's cool. How was school? So I'm like, school was school. Same old BS. So he's like, that's what's up. So he's like, I'm kind of tired. I'm going to be going to bed early. So I'm not trying to cut the conversation short, but I'm going to be going to bed early. That's red flag number 1, y'all. So I'm just like, all right, cool. It's literally like 10 o'clock. It's literally 10 o'clock. Since when do you go to bed early? But all right, cool. Me and Cody were just hanging really, really tight. Okay, we were hanging tight. But things started to take a left turn, literally. Cody started to turn into I was started to work at McDonald's, y'all. Cody sends a text on my phone one day, and he's like, "I need an Easter outfit." I'm just like, "You need an Easter outfit?" He's like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm lost. Like, what does this text mean? When you're texting me and telling me you need an Easter outfit, like, what does that mean?" So, and I'm just in the back, like I'm in the back refilling shit, okay, and I'm trying to sneak and send this text. So he's like, "What time do you get off work?" I'm like, "In an hour." He's like, "All right, walking across the street because I'm over here." I said, "All right, cool." So when I get off work, y'all, I goes and I walks across the street to his job to see what's this Easter outfit bullshit that he's talking about. So he's standing outside and he's smoking a cigarette, and he's like,
Yeah, I need an Easter outfit, you know what I'm saying? Like every time Easter comes, I always need a fresh fit, you know, fresh shoes, fresh outfit, you know what I'm saying? Fresh hat and all that. So, you know, like, what's up?
I'm like, "What's up, what?" He's
Like, you my girl and shit like that. You working like you supposed to give me an outfit.
I'm supposed to do what? I'm supposed to do what? What?
What you mean? Like you don't understand what I'm saying?
I'm like, "No, I understand what you're saying. I'm supposed to get you an outfit. Like, I'm supposed to go to the store and buy you an Easter outfit. Are we children here?"
Like I don't understand what you getting all hostile for, what you getting loud for. Like you can either just say yes or no.
Like, "No, I'm not buying you no motherfucking Easter outfit. Like, what type of bullshit are you on?" It started to get like this, y'all. It started to turn into this. So he got mad. He didn't speak to me for like a half of a week, maybe like 4 or 5 days, which was fine. I really didn't care. It was times, y'all, where Cody used to come to the house, and Cody would only want to come over when he's done hanging out. Cody would hang out the whole entire night, and then he want to come to my house because my house was closer to where he was hanging out at, and he can just crash there and go sleep his little hangover over or whatever. That's what he thought he was gonna do, and Mama King wasn't going for it. Mama King was like,
No, you gotta take your ass home and get the fuck up out of my house, because we're not doing that.
so my mother did not like him, y'all. She didn't care for him, okay? She said that he said that his hair looked like a beef patty, okay? Like it was just nappy. His hair was nappy. He was stealing my brother's do-rag. So my brother and him, they were, beefing over that. So he wasn't allowed back at the house anymore, okay? This is a little bit of the backstory in between what I skipped. My mother just couldn't stand him. So I'm at the house with my mother and them, y'all. And this is around Easter time. I had just got these Jordans, okay? So I had bought me a pair. I got me, some cargo pants that fit, and I got me a little crop top. I went and got my hair done at the Dominicans. I'm looking the motherfucking good. I'm looking good for Easter. So Cody sends a text to my phone. He's like, he's depressed. He can't go outside because he don't have an Easter outfit. I didn't want to help him buy an Easter outfit. I'm supposed to be his girl. I can't depend on you for this. I can't depend on you for that. Buddy, you're not supposed to be dependent on me for any motherfucking thing. So then, y'all, it got to a point where every time I bought a pair of sneakers or an outfit, anything new, he would make comments like,
I'm not hanging around you when you got that outfit on. You got something new and I don't.
"Don't you have a job?" I ends up going to Cody's house one day, and his sister is sitting outside. So his sister is like,
Hey girl, what's going on?
"Hey, what's up?"
Like, yeah, I never really got a chance to sit and, like fraternize with you. Like, what's your name?
So I'm like, "Kane."
Like, oh, okay. So, you Cody's girlfriend, or y'all just like friends? Like, what's the situation with y'all?
So I'm like, "I don't know. I have no idea." So she's like, "Yeah."
Because Cody said he got a girlfriend or whatever, but I don't know what the fuck my brother be having going on sometimes. And I don't want to mess things up for him and stuff by running my mouth.
So I'm like, "Well, what do you mean by that?"
Like, oh no, just saying, just saying.
So she goes on to say,
Yes, I told Cody he needs to go ahead and find him a different job because he up there working at that restaurant. He's not really making no money. And then, he got his son he got to take care of, like.
wait a minute. His son, he has to take care of?
Yeah, he has a son. You didn't know that?
I'm like, no, I didn't know he had a son. I didn't know he had any kids. I asked him that. He said he didn't have any kids.
Cody has a child. He has a kid. He had a kid at a young age. His son is like 6.
I'm just like, so that's another red flag, okay? I'm not counting these flags. I'm just giving you these flags. So I'm just like, wow. So we just sitting there talking or whatever, and Cody comes walking up. So Cody is like,
what are you doing here?
I'm like, before I could say anything,
Don't be talking to her like that. The fuck out of here. This ain't your motherfucking stoop. This ain't your motherfucking apartment. She can come sit here.
It's like, I ain't say she can't. I'm just asking her what she doing here. Why don't you mind your fucking business?
It's like, I'm getting ready to walk to the Golden Crush. You want to come with me?
so I'm like, I'm getting ready to, I'm gonna go home because I really didn't like how he approached the scene, asking me what I'm doing here. So I'm just like, I'm gonna go ahead and go home. It's all good. So Cody is like,
You trying to make friends and shit? Like, you that motherfucking lonely? You trying to be friends with her? Shit the fuck out of here.
so Cody goes in the building and slams the door. So I'm just like, and I leave, y'all. Comes down off the stoop.
Don't pay that bitch ass. We can know mine. Like, Kim, you too pretty for him anyway. Like, he's ugly as fuck. And that's my brother. That's my brother.
So y'all, we walked to the Golden Crust. I ended up going with her to the Golden Crust. Got me a little beef patty and a drink. And she went back to her building and I went home. So the whole night, Cody's calling my phone, like he's trying to apologize. He's sending texts like, oh, he's stressed out about the job. This happened to the job, that happened to the job, all this BS. So I just sends him a response message and says, you have a son? And he responds and says, a son? I'm like, yeah, do you have a son? Your sister said you have a son. He's like, what the fuck else did she tell you? That's what he wrote in a text. So I'm just like, she said you have a son. That was it. And then you walked up. So he's like, yeah, I got a kid. I had him when I was young. I was 15 when I had him. And his mother, the mother was older than him, y'all. I don't know if this was a thing back in the day because this was literally the same thing that Richard had went through, okay? Having babies by women that's like 20 years older than him. I don't know. So he's just like, yeah, I got caught up messing around with this older chick and I got her pregnant, whatever, when I was 15. So there you have it. So I'm just like, wow, okay. So he's like, yeah, he's 6 years old. Like, I'm doing what I can. I'm doing the best I can to be a dad, like that. But there you have it. There goes the truth. I got a kid. If you don't want to talk to me no more, oh well. Like, this is what he writes in text. So I'm just like, all right, it's all good. So let's go ahead and fast forward. I'm still not taking Cody serious, all right? I'm going to school. I'm trying to get my high school diploma. I'm doing really good. My grades have came up drastically, okay? And I'm hanging with my friends, Tanisha and the other 2 chicks from the high school. So Tanisha, one night, we at this high school, y'all. Tanisha's like, yeah.
Hey girl, I think my boyfriend is cheating on me. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like he's cheating on me. Like, it's just something off with him.
So I'm just like, why you think he's cheating? Like, you been at his phone and...
No, like, I can't even get to that phone, but it's just the way he be acting, like, I only get to speak to him certain times of the day. Like, it's like the whole day he's occupied with something. One day I went to his job, he was not there. They said he didn't come in that day, like he had a day off, but he's talking about he was at the job. So I don't know.
So I'm just like, that's weird. So this night, y'all, Tanisha had like a little small duffel bag.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna be spending the weekend with my wigger, So I'll probably be hitting you up, like, so we could go to the nail salon or whatever, because he literally lives in the same neighborhood.
So I'm like, all right, cool. It's not dawning on me when she's like, the wigger lives in the same neighborhood. So we come off the train. She goes this way to her wigger. I go this way to where I live at. So when I get home, I calls Cody. Cody answers the phone. He's like,
yo,
what's going on?
I'm assuming you out of school, you out of class.
Yeah,
You in the Ville or you traveling to the Ville?
I'm here, I'm home. So before I could say anything, Cody is like, hold on. And then it gets quiet. He comes back to the phone and he's like,
Yeah, my homeboy just got here, so I'm gonna holler at you. I'll probably text you before I close my eyes.
I didn't hear from Cody this whole motherfucking weekend, y'all, okay? The whole weekend, no Cody, nothing. So that Monday, it's probably like 9 in the morning. I get a phone call. It's Cody. So y'all, Monday my mother wants to go to this restaurant, okay? I think it was maybe like a Wednesday in the same week that I had just got the phone call from Cody, okay? Same week. So my mother's like,
oh, I'm gonna go to this restaurant. I'm gonna get me something from this restaurant.
so I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna come with you because I wanted to see if Cody was there. So when we get there, we goes into the restaurant. It's me, my mother, my sister, and my brother. Cody is at the register. So they're ordering their food or whatever. Cody is standing there at the register. I'm literally skipping through this story, y'all, okay? Like, this is a long ass story. I probably should have parted it out, but I can't stand Cody either. So this is gonna be one story time. So we standing there at the register and Cody turns around and he's got this huge hickey, y'all, like a huge red mark right here on his neck. So I'm like, I'm just looking, like, I'm just staring at him. So my mother is like,
That don't make no motherfucking sense. You at this motherfucking job with that shit on your neck.
this is just what she's saying out loud. So I'm looking at him, he's looking at me like, and he's putting the stuff in the cups. So y'all, I took my drink because I told y'all I only like the drinks out of this restaurant. I really didn't like the food. I get my drink and I'm like, I'll meet y'all outside. So I goes outside. So my mother looking now, okay, because my mother know all her kids. She know when something is not right. My mother is looking like, watching me leave out. And I leaves out and I'm standing outside. So I'm just like, yo, I can't believe this motherfucker. Like, this motherfucker got a whole big ass hickey on his neck. I mean, like, huge, y'all. This thing was huge. So I'm just like, people always play with me when I'm with my family and I can't get crazy how I want. You know what I'm saying? They already know I'm crazy. They see me get crazy. They see me crash out. But I don't like to crash out in front of them because I can't crash out how I really want to. You get what I'm saying? So when they come out of the restaurant, we walking back to the house. My mother is like,
You alright?
I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm okay. I wasn't okay, y'all. I was really, really pissed off. I'm like, yo, what the like, this nigga trying to play me. He's trying to play with me and play me. So when we get to the house, I just come up with this lie. I'm just like, I gotta go back to the pharmacy because I need some new headphones. I forgot to stop and get headphones. My mother's like, oh, go ahead. So I bypassed that pharmacy, y'all, and I go straight back to this restaurant. And Cody is standing outside on the phone. So I woke up to him, and he's like,
What's up?
I'm like, what the fuck is that on your neck? He's like,
I fell asleep. I fell asleep on top, and that's how I woke up.
I'm like, you fell asleep on a top? On a top? A top to what?
It was like a bottle with like a top. It's a big round top. I fell asleep on it, and that's how my neck was.
So I'm just like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, what type of bullshit ass lie is that? Like, you fell asleep on a top? I'm like, all right. But I'm just like, this man really tried to play with me. So that was it. I was like, it's clipped. I'm not speaking to him no more. I'm not dealing with this because a hickey, and then you're gonna say it's a bottle cap. You slept on a bottle cap, and the bottle cap made the hickey mark on your neck. All right, fine. You and the bottle cap can stay together. So I'm focusing more now on my school. Okay, I'm focusing on the school. So one day, Tanisha sends me a text and was like, do I know any good pregnancy tests, that's accurate, that can read a couple of days before I miss period? So I'm like, EPT, like that's the only one that I know. or maybe Clear Blue, but it's literally EPT. So I'm like, you pregnant? She's like, I think so. Like, I'm feeling pregnant. So I'm like, okay, so did you ever find out, like, if your wigger was cheating? She's like, no, I never found out. I think I'm gonna just leave that situation alone, especially now, like, if I'm pregnant. So I'm like, all right, well, you know best. You know what's best for you. So, y'all, I had not spoken to Cody maybe for like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, at my discretion. Because Cody was blowing my phone up. He was texting, he was calling, he was sending messages through other people or using other people's phones, and I was just ignoring it. I'm like, nah, this is it. I don't want nothing else to do with you. I'm done. Let me just fast forward. Y'all, I ended up telling Mama Kane, okay, what was going on.
I can't stand that motherfucker. Like his nappy ass head.
Because she already knew, like, Cody was just after one thing. Literally, he was just after one thing. That's it. He wasn't trying to build anything. He wasn't trying to be, a sweetheart. Nothing. He was after the koosh, and that was it. And my money, my little McDonald's checks. Okay, so he can get him an Easter outfit. So my mother, I was telling my mother everything. My mother
was like, stay away from him, because I don't want to have to fuck him up. Okay, and then you see your father can't stand him.
Which Daddy King did not like him, okay? And Daddy King recognized him from the restaurant. And Daddy King was like, and looked back at the TV. But, y'all, this man, Cody, back to the regular story. Cody calls my phone one day. It's a voicemail. It's like, it's really important that you call me. So I called him. I'm like, what? So he's like,
yeah, I know you probably still mad at me, whatever, about the little, the mark on my neck and shit like that, but I'm telling you, I promise you, it's not even like that. I got into it with my sister, like me and my sister got into it.
Him and his sister got into a knuckle buck situation, and the mother threw him out. So he moved into a room. He got a little crib across town.
It's gonna sound weird, but you really the only person I can depend on. I just need somebody to talk to. I was wondering if you could come stop by, spend the night with me, maybe spend the weekend with me. Maybe we could work on this little situation we have in. I'm really a cool type of dude. I'm a stand-up guy. Just hear me out.
So I didn't fall for it, but I guess you can say I did. I know y'all probably like, Kane, this man had a hickey on his neck, and he was asking for your McDonald's check for an Easter outfit, and he was the longest bullsh, and you still went. Yep. So I tell my mother, Cody wants me to come to his house. He got his own spot. So my mother is like,
And where's the spot at?
so I'm telling her where the apartment is. The room. It was a room, okay? I'm telling her where it's at. And she's like,
okay. So you going now?
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go up there and see what's going on. So my mother's like, let me know when you get there. I'm like, all right. So y'all, the whole entire time before I got there, it was just little things kept happening to where I should have just took this sign to not go. Couldn't find my wallet. My ID was missing out the wallet. Then I couldn't find my keys. I had called a cab to get, to this place, to his crib, and the cab had came and left. Okay, so I'm just like, it literally pulled up. When I get out downstairs, y'all, the cab drives off. It didn't stay for literally 1 minute or 1 second. It was just gone. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? I missed the cab. I'm like, I'm not calling another cab. I'm just hop on the bus, because the bus was literally coming, the 12 bus, the B number 12. So I hops on the B12 bus, y'all. I takes this bus to Cody's block, the address or whatever. I get off the bus. Before I get off this bus, I'm texting him. I'm very organized like that, y'all. When I'm getting ready to leave to go somewhere, I text the person, I'm leaving out now. I got on the bus. When the bus is getting maybe 2 blocks up, approaching 2 blocks away from the person's house, I'm 2 blocks away. when the bus gets to the bus stop, getting off. You get what I'm saying? So this is what I was doing. Cody was not responding. I should have took them flags and just got off the bus at one of them other stops and just went back. So when I get to this apartment building, y'all, I'm calling Cody's phone. I'm calling. Cody is not answering the phone. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? So I happened to see this light-skinned dude that worked at the restaurant with him. He lived in the building too. So he's coming out with his baby mother. He's like,
yo, what's up?
so I'm like, hey. And it's probably like 9:30 at night, y'all. 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. It was dark. He's like,
You trying to get in?
so I'm like, yeah, Cody told me to come over here, but he's not answering his phone. So the guy is like,
Yo, he probably asleep. Like, you know how he do. He's in room number 3. Just knock on the door.
so I goes into this building, this house or whatever, and it's doors. You can hear everybody in their rooms. It's TVs, it's talking, it's music, whatever. And then there's a kitchen to the back, and then it's like 2 bathrooms, one on this side and one on that side. So I see door number 3. I knocks on the door. So the door across from his opens up, and there's this girl. So she's looking, and she's like, so I turn around, I'm like, do you know the guy that lives here? She's like,
Yeah. I know him.
but she's acting weird, y'all. Her face is like, I'm like, did you see him today? She's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know if he's here? So she closes the door, like she just closed the door. So I'm like, okay, weirdo. So I knock on the door again. She comes, the door opens again, y'all. She comes out, and this time she's got on a hoodie and some biker shorts, and she got on some slides. So she's like,
Come outside real quick.
so I follows her to the door. We goes outside, y'all, and she's like,
Come around.
so I come around with her, and there's like a driveway to where if somebody has a car that lives there, they can just drive up in there. So we go into this little driveway, and there's the windows. So she's like,
That's his window right there.
so I'm seeing the light is on. The light's on, and there's a TV, because you can see like the light from the TV like flashing in the room. So I'm like, and I'm lost. I'm like, okay, so what is the purpose of bringing me to the window? She's like,
You trying to buy some trees?
so I'm like, no. He asked me to come over here, like.
Oh, you a girlfriend?
So she says,
Oh, I thought Cody had a girlfriend, but you look different. You look different. Somebody different.
so I'm like, what? So she goes to the window, y'all, and she taps on the window because she was taller than me. She taps on the window. And Cody comes to the window. And he slides the window open, and he sticks his head out, and he's like, he's just looking at me. And then he looks at her. So she's like,
I don't know if she's trying to get some trees. I don't know what's going on, but she was knocking on your door, so I brought her around to the window.
so Cody is like, and I see Tanisha. Tanisha comes behind him, and she's like hovering over him, like to look out the window too, like. So Cody stands up, like he stands up and like kind of like pushes her before she can actually focus on who's outside. So Cody is like,
Y'all get the fuck away from my window. Get away from my window. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
and he slams the window.
Like, I don't know what the fuck his problem is, but yeah, like, that's how I be getting my trees. I don't know what his problem is, but yeah, girl, There's another dude like 2 blocks down. If you want to go for him, he's got everything.
So I'm like, thank you. So y'all, I call my mother and I'm crying. My mother's hysterical.
What? What's going on? What is it? What is it? What's going on? What the fuck is going on?
So I'm just like, yeah. I got over here to Cody's house. Cody got a girl in his room, and he told me to get the fuck away from his window, and this, that, and third. My mother was
like, come home right now.
Come home. So y'all, I calls me a cab, and I cried all the way home. I cried all the way home. So the cab driver is like,
you okay, mommy? Mommy, you okay?
You know, a little 910 cab company. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. So when I get home, y'all, Mama Kane and Daddy Kane, they in the living room looking at TV. So Daddy Kane looks, and he's like,
what the hell is wrong with Kane?
My mother's like,
she got into it with one of her friends.
My mother comes to the room. My mother is like,
stay the fuck away from him. Stay away from him, because he's going to make me fuck his ass up.
So, and she slammed the door. So my father heard it. My father is
like, what's going on? Who are you going to fuck up?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'm taking care of it.
Let's go ahead and fast forward. A couple of days later, y'all, my mother goes up to this restaurant to chew Cody out, okay? And I didn't want her to do that because I'm just like, you know, I was trying to deal with this on my own. But I told you my mother's a no-limit soldier. We goes up to this restaurant, okay? And my mother was very slick. She's like,
oh, I want to go up to this sneaker store and see if they got these sneakers because I want to get raw these boots.
And this, that, third. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. We on the other side of the street. We didn't even make it to the sneaker store. We on this side. And Cody happens to be standing outside with the other 2 co-workers, okay? I guess they was on lunch break and they smoking. So when we approach the block, I'm getting ready to cross the street. My mother is like,
come back over here. Come back over here.
So when we get over there, Cody is like,
hey, King.
My mother's like,
don't you say shit to my daughter. Don't say nothing to my daughter, motherfucker. You had my daughter go over to your motherfucking house and you know you had a chip in there? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
So my mother turned around to me and was
like, you gonna stay the fuck away from him because he ain't shit. I'm raising you not to be putting up with this bullshit and being stupid. That's it. You didn't see the hickey, you didn't see this, you didn't see that, and this, that, and that.
My mother's just going off, y'all. He's just standing there like,
I mean, miss
my ass. Miss my motherfucking ass.
The other co-workers is cracking up, okay? And the light-skinned dude with the afro, he's just like,
just chill, Cody. You can't respond to that because you wrong.
Point blank and period. Cody tried and tried. He tried to get back around me, y'all, but it didn't work, okay? It did not work. Tanisha never found out that I was the one that Cody was two-timing, okay? And it was just crazy, y'all. It's like once I realized that Tanisha was the other chick, I stopped hanging with her. I kept going to school and getting my motherfucking shit together, okay? And that's when I met Richard. But yeah, okay? And I'm going to do the full story, okay? So yeah, that's the end of the story time, y'all. That's the end of the story time. If you like this story time, give this video a thumbs up and leave some comments below. Have you ever dated somebody and you found out they was dating a friend of yours? Okay. That was just wild, y'all. It was wild as hell. If you didn't like this story time, give this video a thumbs up and get your ass out of here. I really don't care. Please don't leave no negative comments on my channel at all, okay? I'm really getting tired of y'all. Wherever you at in this crazy ass world, because this world is crazy, look to the motherfucker in front of you and tell them, don't forget. They're going to say, don't forget what? Don't forget to tell a friend, 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 to tell another motherfucking friend that the cane is on the motherfucking tube. Peace. And before I end this video, y'all, I will be going live. I'm going to post a link in these comments to where you can click on this link and click notify me so you can go and join my live. I'm trying to have a live story time without trolls, okay? So everybody can concentrate on the story and vibe. There's going to be subscriber story time. I'm going to have a link for that. And then I'm going to have my live story time. I have a link for that, okay? And both of those links will be in these comments below. Y'all click on them and y'all click to notify me so y'all can be notified when the live starts. Alright? So I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Stay blessed. Have a nice night, morning, afternoon, or whatever time you watch this. Peace.
The pressure's still on. It be a cold day in hell for I let you slide on me, ride on me. Now that ain't what's up. It be a cold day in hell for you.